All right, so I'm pretty like amazed. I'm not gonna lie, and I totally have to admit, I thought that the whole like plant tray with the water thing was like great. I didn't know how well it was gonna work though. I thought I may still have to like water them, but like wow, I've never like I've done the Jiffy Pod things, but I've never done these like cell trays. And why didn't I get the plant trays sooner? Because like I watered them last night. It's literally the next day. It's like noon. And wow. Like all the soil is moist. And it wasn't last night. Like these peppers right here were light brown and so dry that I was like, "Oh, I'm going to have to come water these tomorrow." I thought that last night. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't have to water them at all. They're completely, they've watered themselves. So yeah, if you guys are planning on starting seeds, definitely get the plant tray with, if you're doing like the cells to start your seeds. Cause yeah, anyway, time to start transplanting though. All right, I've never really transplanted plants out of containers like this before. So we're gonna figure it out. I just have like ready to use potting soil and I drilled some holes in red Solo cups. So we're just gonna wing it and see how it goes and hope that everything doesn't die. These tomato plants here are just getting pretty big and they're kind of fighting each other for the light. So I'd like to get them out and into their own containers so that way they can hopefully grow bigger, and then when they get outside they've kind of got that head start. Sometimes that backfires though, but we'll figure it out. I'm really banking on the tomatoes doing well though, so I really need them to survive and do well. Even thought about how I'm going to organize this. All I know right now is that I'm just going to be rearranging where these things are on the shelves, but because they're full of water, that's not helpful right now. Say like a quarter to a third of the way, and I'm going to bury them so that the first leaves are basically like flush with the soil. Like so. So something I just wanted to mention when you are transplanting them is to try to hold them by the leaves, because at least if a leaf breaks, it will grow more. But if you break the stem, then you've basically killed the plant. So just be careful. If you did plant two and you want to keep both, just be very careful and just kind of like mush the soil around gently just to try to tease them about, and then just take your weakest one and pull that one out, so that if you do end up breaking the stem or something, that your stronger plant of the two is still intact and can be planted. So after 2 days of transplanting, but not 2 full days, I needed more plant trays. And so I sent Josh out at like 4 o'clock yesterday to go get, I needed plant trays. I needed to get another, I just said some kind of stand. It didn't have to be a greenhouse. It could have just been like a plastic shelving unit, whatever. It didn't really matter. But I needed another one because once we turn these into these, there's 72 of these, and you can only fit 15. You can squeeze 16 in there, which is what I did here. But the last one kind of just pops out. So you obviously need a lot more room when you go from one plant tray having 72 plants to one plant tray having 15 to 16 plants. So we needed more room, and so I was able to take all of my San Marzano tomato, the one tray, and I put them all into red Solo cups. I took my onions that I had already put in red Solo cups and put them into plant trays, because even with the 2 holes that I made in the bottom of the red Solo cups, they will suck up the water and water the plants, because that's what happened down there. I was checking it out, and it actually, I was quite thrilled when I figured that out. I was quite happy. We can kind of do a test if you want to test my theory, because these, let's see, you can see these are pretty dry and these are not. Okay, so we can see once these turn dark, once they turn dark, that means they've hit moisture. So we can kind of test my theory of whether they will suck up the water within the red solo cups / blue solo cups. Anyway, but all I managed to transplant was tomatoes and some broccoli and cauliflower. I didn't get all of them transplanted. There's still, where is, hang on buddy, where's that one? Where did I put it? Down there. There's still about 10 left that I have to transplant that are broccoli and cauliflower. You can take your pants off on the bed. We don't need to do it on the camera. So I've still got about 10 left to transplant. I did not manage to transplant any nasturtiums, which are right there. And I need to transplant the apple seeds in the back there too. Didn't manage to get that done because, as I was saying, yes. So sent Josh out at 4 o'clock. I needed the plant trays, the greenhouse, and I needed more soil. And he didn't come back home until 2:30 a.m. Yeah, that was my thought too. But I mean, he went out, he saw some friends, he went to his cousin's house, whatever. He doesn't get out much, so I really didn't care all that much. The cool thing with the vehicle that he bought is instead of me calling to harass him all the time about, where are you? What time are you coming home? Because obviously 4 o'clock was before dinner, and I was like, am I cooking dinner for you? Or can I make, the kids and I really love, this is so horrible because it's not nutritious for you at all, but we love plain spaghetti with butter on it, and then you take like the fresh parm that you grate, and then you grate that over it, and it's just literally just fresh spaghetti with butter and parm, and that's our favorite dinner. Josh doesn't like it, so when he's not home, that's what we have sometimes, which is what we had last night, because with this new vehicle I was able to go and check where he was, and that's when I realized it was probably going to be a while till he got home. So I just went on with my evening, made dinner, sent the kids to bed. So I made dinner, put the kids to bed, played video games, tried out the new Destiny 2 game, and then I just went to bed. So now my transplanting moved into today, but he didn't get soil because the bag of potting soil, the only one that he could find at Canadian Tire, was like $15 for a bag, which is ridiculous. There's got to be cheaper ones somewhere else. So my transplanting is temporarily on hold. But yeah, and so that's it. That's it for this weekend, I think. Oh, hi. What? What? Snot coming down her face. She's like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not crying. I'm not crying.
I'm gonna stay looking good for the camera. That's what she said.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to end with, let's take a look at these beans that I accidentally planted a week ago. The peppers still have not germinated, but the beans have literally all sprouted. And like this one is huge. Like the chickpea bean plants are huge. So I'm kind of nervous. I definitely think I'm going to have to be planting these out in containers before I can get them into the garden. I think they're going to be containers, and I think our experiment is going to be a go on figuring out just beans versus beans in containers versus beans in the garden, because yeah, I think these are going to have to be out of here fairly soon anyway. Anyway, I will see you guys later. Have a good day. All right, so as I showed before, this soil in this one, this is the middle one, this is the one I showed you before. The soil was bone dry, and now look at the color of it. Dark, okay? And I don't know if you can see the water level very well, but I put 2 water bottles full, so almost 1.5 liters of water in there. And it's basically, you can see it in the grooves, but it's dry on the raised grooves. So it definitely sucks up the water through the red Solo cups, through just 2 little holes in the bottom. And I'll show you these. I think I took a screw or something. No, it was a screwdriver. It was a screwdriver that I have, and I just shoved it through the bottom. So they're not very big holes, and that's what I used. So that it's a game changer, and it's gonna make watering really easy. So yeah, these are the rest of these rows here are the rest of the broccoli and cauliflower that have to be transplanted. I think I have about 10 left. And then after that, these are the beans. So we've got the nasturtiums in the back that need to get transplanted from there. I think I might transplant the strawberries. I don't know yet though, honestly. They're looking really good. These guys in the back have just kind of really opened up their leaves. They look a lot happier, that's for sure. And then these are onions. Not sure how well they are doing, but I just put them into plant trays and they're really soaking up the water, so they must have been thirsty. And these are the other onions. These are the other nasturtiums I need to transplant with the apples in the back there. Those are the apples. Then we've got my whole tray of peppers and my other tray of tomatoes. And then these are broccoli cauliflower. These are broccoli and cauliflower and tomatoes, tomatoes for days. So anyway, that's the garden, end of March.